Seriously?
Hey guys, and welcome to this product review with myself, 6+ Stevo. Let's do something a little different with this one. I can't believe I haven't done this already actually. We're going to review the Warhammer 40k Legends Codex Orks. So yeah, let's before we get started though, I'm not going to be discussing whether or not Legends is a good thing or a bad thing, or it spells doom for these miniatures. That's kind of a topic that I've discussed already and is a topic for another video. This is literally just going to be a review of this product, of this codex, and see if it's got some good stuff in it and it's going to be of use to some people. Because I think GW made very little fanfare to this when they brought it out. It was sort of mentioned very briefly in a post. It stirred up the community a bit, and then it's kind of it's there. But yeah, I'm sure a lot of people are completely unaware these codexes exist, not only for Orks but all the other factions as well. I think nearly all the factions have access to a Legends Codex, where you've got access to these classic miniatures and things that you can still use in your games. You can't use them in tournament games, at least if it's an official GW tournament or the tournament organisers don't allow Legends units. But yeah, this is basically a replacement for the Index. Indexes are gone now, but we still have this, and it's got some good stuff in it. So let's take a look. So you can get this perfectly free. I've got this here on screen now in front of you, download version. So you can download it 100% free from the Warhammer community site. If you go to the section on the site marked downloads, you'll see a little drop down box, and then it will also say on there Legends, and you've got stuff for Age of Sigmar and stuff for Warhammer 40,000, and you can just pick the faction that you play and download it, and it's a real small download as well. I actually printed mine off, so I've got a full colour copy printed off in a handy little format like so, because I like to have a book. So I'll just slip that inside my codex, and I've got access to all the other sheets and stuff in there, all the other data sheets of goodness. But let's take a look. So it's a 13-page booklet. We've got the front cover there, same old standard stuff. So Warhammer Legends Orks. And let's scroll to the first page and have a look. So we got here, Warhammer Legends. Over the years, Games Workshop has produced a wide array of diverse and interesting Citadel miniatures for players to use in their games of Warhammer 40,000. Today, some of those models are no longer available. But in keeping with the mighty deeds and extraordinary legends that these powerful warriors have wrought during their time, the rules for using them are being presented in this document. On the following pages you'll find a mixture of data sheets and additional war gear options, used alongside those found in Codex Orks. These allow you to field certain legendary models in your games. Some data sheets found within this document contain keywords within Angular. We know all that, I won't go over that. The rules here can be used in any type of play, open, narrative or matched, and full points are provided to help you balance your forces. Warhammer Legends will not form part of our ongoing balance review for the wider Warhammer 40,000 game, and we don't recommend use Legends units for competitive tournaments. This means that event organisers and attendees alike can guarantee that everything they're gaming with is easily available to everyone and has been subject to the same rigorous balance and playtesting process. Of course, organisers are also free to specify that they will be including Legends rules if they like, allowing the use of the full classic range at their event. So there you go, it's up to the event organisers. So we've got, first of all, Orks War Gear list. Some of the units you will find on the following pages reference one or more of the following war gear list. When this is the case, the unit may take any items from the appropriate list below. So we've got choppy weapons, which has the big chopper and power claw. We've got shooty weapons, which includes the combi weapon, both scorcher and rocket, custom shooter and shooter. And then we've got the souped up weapons, which also includes the combi weapons, scorcher and rocket launcher, custom mega blaster, custom mega slugger and rocket launcher. And the first one we come to, first data sheet, boom, War Boss in mega armour. I said I wasn't going to get into it, but it should be in the Codex. But moving on, it's here. So he's a power level 6, and War Boss in Mega Armour has a movement of 4, weapon skill 2+, ballistic skill 5+, strength 6, toughness 5, 7 wounds. He gets the extra wound, that's lovely. 4 attacks, leadership 8, 2+ save. He's equipped with a custom shooter and a power claw. And this model can be equipped with one of the following instead of one custom shooter. 1 weapon from the choppy weapons list and 1 weapon from the shooty weapons list. That's worded strange, isn't it? This model can be equipped with one of the following instead of one custom shooter. So he can't replace his power claw. He's got that. That's stuck there. But he can change it for 1 weapon from the choppy weapons list or 1 weapon from the shooty weapons list. So you could give him 2 power claws, which wouldn't give him an extra attack because they don't come with that rule. So that's pointless. You could give him a big chopper. Again, it's odd, strange. I don't think anyone's ever going to do that unless they've got something very particular in mind. But you can give him weapons from the shooty weapons list, which basically means he could downgrade to a shooter if he wanted to, save some points. Or he can have the combi weapons, so fairly standard stuff. I always found it strange that a War Boss couldn't have some of the more exotic weaponry like custom mega blasters and stuff. I'd like to give my Bad Moon War Boss something like that. It'd be very fitting, I think. He comes with the abilities, here we go, Mob Rule, Daka Daka Daka, War ability, so units within 6 inches of him can charge even if they advance, and he's got the breaking head so he can restore order. All very standard stuff. So there's nothing really new here, it's just War Boss in Mega Armour, but full data sheet with points and all the rules and everything, so you can use him in your games. And why wouldn't you? Unless you were doing tournaments and stuff and where you're not allowed to, which is fair enough. But in terms of playing games with your friends, games at the local club and stuff, yeah, hell yeah, why wouldn't you use this? Of course you would. And why wouldn't a War Boss kit himself out in Mega Armour? Certainly certain War Bosses of certain clans definitely would. Some may see it as a bit weedy being in Mega Armour, so there is sometimes the case for a War Boss not wearing Mega Armour, because you do get some orcs and that they sort of laugh at the other orcs because they can't get about and they sort of fall over and in these suits of Mega Armour, and sometimes might see it as a bit weedy, needing all that flashy gear around you to protect yourself. They might see it as proper hard, without that. Moving on, we've got the big mech. He's power level 4, and this is a strange one. So this isn't the big mech with custom force field as we see in Saga of the Beast. This is a completely separate entry, and it's a strange one. There are both reasons why I'd like to use this one and reasons why I'd prefer to use the one out of Saga of the Beast. But let's take a look at it anyway. So we've got the big mech, and his stats are standard stuff. Movement 5, weapon skill 3+, ballistic skill 5+, strength 5, toughness 4, 4 wounds, 3 attacks, leadership 7, 4+ save, and the grot oiler. So all standard. The big mech is a single model armed with slugger, chopper, stick bombs. It can be accompanied by a grot oiler. So he comes with the slugger and chopper, but he has what the big mech with KFF no longer has, is he has some options to change his weapons and war gear. So this model can be equipped with one of the following instead of one slugger: 1 weapon from the choppy weapons list, 1 weapon from the souped up weapons list. So that's really cool. So he can swap his slugger out for a choppy weapon, again a bit odd, or 1 weapon from the souped up weapons list. Well, I don't know actually, because so he's armed with 1 chopper, so you could arm him with 2 choppers to give him 2 extra attacks. That'd be pretty cool. Up his attacks to 5. Possibly. Be cheap as well because they're free. You wouldn't be paying anything for them, so it'd keep his cost right down. It'd give him some nice combat potential, and that's not always a bad thing. Some it is argued that if your big mech's in combat, you're doing something wrong. Well, not necessarily. It could be that your opponent did something right. As hard as you try, if someone really wants to kill something, they will get it in combat. And it depends how you use him. If perhaps he's moving up to support a load of death dreads, so he's moving with them and accompanying them into battle. When you get there, you're going to want him to fight as well. And big mechs, they're not too shabby in combat. They've got decent strength. They're an orc knob with multiple wounds, so they can hold their own. And with 5 attacks, he'd be all right. But you're probably more likely to go for one from the souped up weapons list. So you can give him the custom mega slugger or the custom mega blaster, which is a great choice, and very fluffy and fitting for a big mech. This model can be equipped with one of the following instead of one chopper: one kill saw. That's brilliant. I have one equipped with a kill saw. Mind you, he does also have a custom force field, so that's not going to work. One weapon from the choppy weapons list, one weapon from the souped up weapons list. So you could have one sporting all the Dakka with this. He could have 2 custom mega blasters, which is pretty that's pretty cool, actually. That's kind of got my mind thinking about little conversions and things. And again, for a Bad Moon big mech, having 2 souped up shooters is going to be very fluffy and awesome. I like that. He comes with the abilities. Here we go. Mob Rule, Dakka, Dakka, Dakka. Comes with the Grot Oiler, which is the same rules as it always is. And the big Mechaniac, so he can repair up to D3 lost wounds on clan vehicles. Faction keywords, all the standard stuff. But one thing is missing from here, and that is the custom force field. So he cannot have that. Which, yeah. So competitively, are you ever going to take a big mech without a KFF? It's unlikely, and probably unwise, to be fair. But I don't know. I mean, you could make quite a nice case for a shooty character here. He can still repair vehicles. He doesn't have the custom force field, but you get the weapon options instead. So yeah, I don't know. Personally, I'd still want to take one of these in my army just for the fun, just for the creativity of it, and to create a real character with something to him. But yeah, it's good that those options are there. It's just a shame that those options, those weapon options, are not in the Saga of the Beast, because just having a slugger and chopper on him is so boring and it's so one-dimensional, and it's just it limits our creativity. But I'm not here to slag that one off. That's probably a topic for another video. We've got the big mech on Warbike. Now this is a bit more like it. So he is power level 5, movement 14, weapon skill 3+, ballistic skill 5+, strength and toughness 5, 5 wounds, 3 attacks, leadership 7 and a 4+ save. Big mech on a Warbike is a single model armed with 2 Dakka guns, slugger, chopper and stick bombs. So he's sporting the Dakka. He's got 6 shots from the Dakka gun, which is lovely jubbly, strength 5, so it's basically like a twin big shooter. Well, less range, but you get the idea. He comes with a slugger chopper, but again, you can change these, and he comes with some great options. So this model can be equipped with one of the following instead of one slugger: one shock attack gun. I love that. That's just insane. One custom force field, one weapon from the souped up weapons list, or one weapon from the choppy weapons list. This model can be equipped with one of the following instead of one chopper: one kill saw, one weapon from the souped up weapons list, and one weapon from the choppy list. I love this because instantly, for a converter, for someone that's wanting to create their own character in their army, to lead their army, if you're running a Speed Freaks army or an Evil Sons army, you're gonna want one of these in your army leading it, surely, or at least be one of the characters within your army, because you can really create your own character here. The options they're giving you for the weapons, you could create something very competitive, very powerful. Give him a custom force field, and give him a kill saw. Then he's riding in, he's got the Dakka guns to shoot with, he's got the custom force field to protect your other bikers all around him, or whatever around him. and he's got a kill saw for delivering some pain when he gets there as well. So yeah, it's a real nice. That would probably be the most sort of competitive option of him, I would say. Or you could equip him with a shock attack gun, which would be brilliant for some conversions. I would love to see like a conversion of shock attack gun. Possibly it's mounted on the bike itself behind him and over his head, or on the front of it, but you've still got that like Hoover pipe with maybe like a cage of like snotlings on the side of the bike, like a side cart of snotlings all being sucked up into it. That would just create some really cool conversion opportunities there. I don't know how useful it would be nipping about with a shock attack gun. It would look mental, and it's orky as hell. So I want to see someone do it, please. Yeah, someone please do that and share that on the Orc community group, because I would love to see that. Or if someone's already done it. Or you can fill him out with all the Dakka, so he can have 2 souped up weapons plus the Dakka gun. So he could be spitting out a lot of firepower there. You could give him 2 combi Scorchers. Were they in the souped up? Let's have a look. Don't think they were they? They might have been. Let's take another scroll down, have a look. Check what's in the souped up weapons list. Souped up, you got combi, yeah, so he could have 2 combi Scorchers, plus the Dakka guns, custom Mega Blasters, compass missiles. So yeah, he could be spitting out some serious firepower actually, because he could shoot all those weapons. And you could mount them in, you know, they don't have to be in his hands. You could mount them on the guns, so the bike itself is decked out with. It just opens up on a creative level so much. Definitely one of the best entries in this codex, and one I'm sure a lot of people would want. That's not the right one though. That's the big mech on foot, big mech on warbike. There you go. So yeah, awesome, absolutely awesome. I definitely intend to create one. I don't know what I'd give it, but it'll be fun to create one. Definitely. So moving on, what do we have next? Here's one to court controversy. The Red Gobbo. You were only with us for such a short while before you were in Legends. So he's power level 1. Movement 5, weapon skill 4+, ballistic skill 3+, strength 3, toughness 3, 3 wounds, attacks 3, leadership 6, and a 5+ save. And he is an elite, not an HQ, which is a missed opportunity. Such a missed opportunity. Why couldn't he be a cheap HQ choice? For all those players out there that want a pure grot army, it would have given them that opportunity. It really would have. Such a shame. But he's still cool to have in your army nonetheless. So he comes with a custom grot blaster, which is strength 5, AP -1, damage 2, and pistol D3. So that's quite a nice little gun he's got there. I didn't take much notice of that before, but that's pretty tasty. The Icon of the Revolution, which is a melee weapon, which has just a -1 AP. When resolving an attack made by this weapon, a wound roll of 6+ inflicts 1 mortal wound on the target in addition to any other damage. Lovely jubbly. And he gets 3 attacks. He's not bad at all. Strength and toughness 3 as well. He's quite hardy for a grot. And he comes with stick bombs. And he comes with the abilities Dakka, Dakka, Dakka. So you still get them exploding 6s with that pistol as well. So yeah, he's alright. He's going to take people by surprise. The Revolution. Friendly Gretchen units can use this model's leadership instead of their own, whilst they're within 6 inch of this model. And he has a leadership of 6, which is insanely brave for a grot, which really would make the difference as well. And that works, remember, friendly Gretchen units. So this works on killer cans and grot tanks as well. So killer cans, probably their biggest weakness, especially if you're using them in big mobs, is their leadership. It can be very scary failing a leadership with killer cans, and that could make the difference between either passing that leadership or at least failing it by less, so you lose less cans in your leadership test. So very, very worthwhile having him near your cans. Next special rule is Red Gobbo. This model can be included in an Orc detachment without preventing other units in that detachment from gaining a clan culture. Note, however, that this model does not itself benefit from any clan culture. So he can go in any army, but he won't gain the benefits. That's no biggie. Has you been a good little grot this year? This is all part of the whole festive things. He's dressed up in a stupid Christmas outfit. Some people like it. Me personally, I wasn't a fan. But I like some of the conversions that people are doing out there and basically removing all the festive stuff from him. At the end of your movement phase, you can select one other friendly Gretchen unit within 3 inches of this model. If you do, roll 1d6. On a 1, that unit suffers 1 mortal wound. On a 2+, models in that unit count as being equipped with stick bombs until the end of the battle. Okay, so he can supply stick bombs to the unit near him, and they keep it for the rest of the battle. So once you do it, they've got it for the rest of the game. It's I'm trying to think whether, I mean, a stick bomb is going to be good because it's grenade d6 and the grot blaster's only a strength 3 anyway, the same as, so there's no reason not to. If you're within range, there's no reason not to use a stick bomb, but you can only use 1 stick bomb per unit unless you use the stratagem which allows you to use up to 10 stick bombs or grenade weapons, but I don't believe we can use that stratagem on grots. So it's a fluffy, cool little thing, I guess. It's cool that he's supposed to, so it'll give him a little bit more punch, but so yeah, Red Gobbo, he's a mixed bag. He's cool. It's just a shame he couldn't have been an HQ, and yeah, that is a bit of a shame. Otherwise, I like it. I like what he can do, and he would have been a great cheap HQ choice. He's in the elite section, which is fighting off. He's fighting for contention with so many other units, and have like cheap HQ choice as well would have been cool. And just for the grot players out there, people that have got a pure grot army, to have been able to have had someone to lead their army. He's the Red Gobbo. He leads rebellions, for God's sake. That's kind of his thing. So it was a real bummer that they made him an elite. That's the only thing I would change about that. Pain Boy on Warbike. Here we are. Another one that's going to make for some cool conversions. The movements, the stats are all much the same as before. So he's equipped with 2 dagger guns, an Urti syringe, and a power claw. So this model can be equipped with 1 kill saw instead of 1 power claw. So that's cool. That's a good option, and it makes sense for a pain boy to have a saw for cutting up bones and stuff. And that's the only option he gets. But again, if you're running a Speed Freaks, Cult of Speed, Evil Sons, anything like that, why wouldn't you include this along with your big mech on bike, pain boy on bike? Keep up with your bikers. You want everything on bikes or mounted in trucks. You don't want anything on foot because it's going to break the theme of your army. And it's a simple conversion to do, man. It wouldn't take much to convert something to look like a pain boy. Not much at all. You could take the pain boy miniature itself and sort of saw it off at the waist and mount it on the legs. With a little bit of work, it'd be fairly tricky with the current sculpt net, but you could certainly do it. Or use some third-party parts to change up one of your knob bikers or your bikers into a pain boy. So his special rules are, here we go, mob rule, daka, sawbones at the end of your movement phase. This model can attempt surgery on 1 friendly clan infantry or clan biker model within 3 inches. So yeah, you're going to want him up with your bikers, aren't you, supporting them, so he can ride alongside them, grant them that feel no pain, and heal some of your characters, so he can heal your big mech or your war boss on bike as well. So yeah, really cool that he's here. Sucks that he's not in the codex, but he's here, so we can still use him. Moving on, here we are, War Tracks. Have I skipped one? No, I haven't. So we got War Tracks, the sort of souped up buggy, old school buggy with the tank tracks on it. Power level 3, movement 12, weapon skill 3+, ballistic skill 5+, strength 4, toughness 5, 6 wounds, 4 attacks, leadership 6 and a 4+ save. This unit contains 1 war track. It can additionally contain up to 2 war tracks or up to 4 war tracks. So you can have up to 5 of these in a squad. Every model is equipped with a twin big shooter, which gives you 6 shots at 36-inch range, strength 5. Not too shabby, especially with the Daka rule. Big shooter shots are good anti-infantry killers. But you can change that for a rack of rockets, the good old rack of rockets, for Assault 2. Rockets are lovely. I love rockets. Outriders. During deployment, you can set up this unit on the army's flank instead of setting it up on the battlefield. If you do so at the end of one of your movement phases, you can set this unit anywhere on the battlefield that is more than 9 inches away from enemy models and wholly within 6 inches of any battlefield edge. So yeah, really cool little flanking unit. Nice little cheap unit which can be kitted out for anti-infantry or anti-vehicle, and yeah, great objective grabbers. Yeah, cool. I know a lot of people miss them, and again, opens up. You can use the old model, or you can convert things, and you can get creative with it and have some fun. And I think they're good things to sort of start if you're going to start scratch building stuff or converting stuff. Things like buggies and war tracks are a good place to start. It's a nice little small project to work on, nothing too strenuous. I've seen people convert these out of death copters, out of like bikes, mashing bikes together to make a thing, or all sorts of stuff. Whatever your imagination says, really. And then we've got the Scorcher, which is the flaming variant. Movement 12, weapon skill 3, ballistic skill 5, strength 4, toughness 5, 6 wounds, 4 attacks, leadership 6 and a 4+ save. And this is the same. We can have up to 1 to 5 Scorchers in a squad. Scorchers are lovely. Scorchers, the weapon, the Scorcher itself is expensive but very good and perfect to have on a unit like this, because the Scorcher's weakness, the weapon that is that you don't always get to use it. It's very situational. You've got to get within that 8-inch range to be able to use it, but then you're getting auto hits at strength 5, AP -1, which is lovely, and anything that auto hits for Orks is a massive plus. But many games I've just not had the opportunity to use them because I can't get within that range before whoever's got the weapon has died. But with things like these, with that 12-inch movement, and it being an assault weapon, doesn't matter if you advance because it auto hits, you don't have any minus. So yeah, really good unit, a very scary unit for people as well if they just pop up on their flank, as this can do with the Outrider. So you can come on from any battlefield edge. You know, this thing popping up, or a unit, imagine a unit of 5 of these popping up in your back line and all scorching the hell out of you. Yeah, it's very useful, very nippy, very fast. Yeah, I like them, and I wonder if you could have them. They would benefit from some of the new rules, the subcultures in Saga of the Beast, that gives the buff to all the Scorchers and stuff and all the flaming weapons, because it doesn't specify like units, it just specifies the weapons. So Scorchers come under that, so they could benefit from that as well. You could make that into quite a nasty little unit. And then we got the good old War Buggy. War Buggies, absolutely fantastic, dirt cheap, and we miss them. We miss War Buggies because they are a great way. If you're making a list and you've got, I've got like just a few points left over, you can just throw in a War Buggy to make up the points. A little distraction unit, even if it's just a lone one, just to annoy your opponent, nip in, grab a sneaky objective somewhere, just harass something, try and take out, that sniper in their back line, or they're very useful. And again, the same, it's 1 War Buggy, but you can have up to 5 of them. 14-inch movement, lovely. Comes with a twin big shooter, which you can change for a rack of rockets. So again, you've got kitted out for anti-infantry or anti-vehicle, and also comes with the Outriders special rule. So good stuff. Moving on. Big guns. So currently we've got mech guns. We've lost big guns. I love mech guns, and mech guns are more interesting and more fun, I think, than big guns. But I do miss the big guns as well. The big guns were cool. Although the big guns are smaller than the mech guns, so it should be called small guns, or medium guns, or not so big guns. I don't know. Because they come with, the unit contains 1 big gun and 2 grot crew. It can additionally contain up to 5 big guns, each with 2 grot crew. Every big gun is equipped with a cannon. And a big gun can be equipped with one of the following instead of 1 cannon: 1 lobber, 1 zap gun. So, I always like the look of cannons. Cannons are nice. They're nice and cheap. They pack a punch. 36-inch range, and you've got either frag or shells. You can have heavy D6 shots at strength 4. Anti-infantry, potentially could get a lot of shots, but I was never going to shoot with that. I'd go for the heavy 1, strength 8, -2, D6 damage. So it's basically a rocket, but with better range and potentially more damage, although it is random, so D6 damage on him. And for the points, which we'll look at in a minute, that's really nice guns to have on your back line, lobbing out that potential high damage. You got a few of them shooting, hitting, rolling a few 6s on the damage, you're going to be causing some pain to some vehicles. Lobbers are obviously great because lobbers, you don't need to see the target, got a massive range, you can hide them behind a building, bubble wrap them so no one can get near them, and you can just annoy your opponent all game, constantly just raining death and destruction down on them. And it's strength 5 as well, so you're wounding like Space Marines on a 3 with that. So yeah, they're all right. And again, for the points, they're good. Zap gun is the completely orky random. It's very powerful. It has the potential to be very powerful, but it's also very random. So I personally wouldn't go for the zap gun. You risk hurting yourself. It's incredibly random, but for the fun factor, they're very orky and cool. So let's have a look at the rules and make sure they haven't got the old rule where people used to use their grot crew to run along and operate different guns and go and grab objectives and just be really beardy. We've got Daka, which is very useful for all them shooting units. Grot crew, each big gun and its grot crew are treated as a single model for all rules purposes. So there you go. So that you can't separate anymore, which I know a lot of people bitched and moaned about, but I actually prefer that. With my mech guns, I put all the crew and everything in the mech gun itself on a base together to make like a nice sort of scenic base, and they look so much better like that. And I would definitely do the same with these. I'd put them on like sort of killer can size bases, most probably, and make a little, like they do with the a lot of the Imperial Guard ones like that. Like I've seen the Katachan and the Cadian ones with like the guys on like the bolt gun, the heavy bolters or the missile launchers, and that they've got the crew and the guy loading it. It's a cool way to create. You can put little sandbags up around it like an emplacement, have the grot crew there loading the guns in. Very cool. Big guns. The first time this unit is set up on the battlefield, all of its guns must be placed. So yeah, you set them all up as one unit within 6 inches of each other. From after that, they're treated as separate units. It's the only thing you got to watch out for with units like that is that if the game you're playing is like kill points, they can be really easy kill points for your opponent to get because they can kill them off easy, and each one's worth a victory point. So it's something to bear in mind, but you can have a lot of them for the points. And here we go, we've got some war gear options. So this expands some of the options of the units that are still in the Codex, and just brings extra options to them, which is really cool and needed in some cases. So the data sheets from Codex Orks that are listed below are updated as follows. Burner Boys. This data sheet gains the following war gear options. Any spanner can be equipped with one of the following instead of one big shooter: 1 slugger and chopper, 1 slugger and kill saw. So that's cool because that makes a lot more sense for Burner Boys are very close combat. Close range fire, and then with their cutting tools. So having your spanner with a big shooter, it's not really the right sort of weapon. So having him kitted out more for close combat makes a lot more sense. Any spanner can be equipped with 1 weapon from the souped up weapons list instead of 1 slugger. So also very cool. So you can give him a nice custom mega slugger. Give him like something that complements what the rest of the unit has. So give him something like a kill saw and a custom mega slugger would be quite a tasty little surprise to have in there, in amongst your burners. Deathcopters. This datasheet gains the following war gear options. Any model can be equipped with one custom mega slugger instead of one twin big shooter, which is very cool, an option they took away from us. We did used to have the option of the custom mega blaster when it was crap. Then they made the custom mega blaster good, but took that option away from the Deathcopters. Personally, I still like the extra shots you get from the twin rockets, the copter rockets, but custom mega blasters are good now. They do that D6 damage. Any model can additionally be equipped with one kill saw, which is awesome. Again, opens up those conversions. You've seen those Deathcopters with people with a bit of saw blades on them and stuff. Very cool. And also this one, any model can have one big bomb. If it does, that model gains the big bomb ability, which I don't think has changed. No, it hasn't. So during the movement phase, you can fly over, drop a bomb to a maximum of 5. Roll 1d6 for each model in that unit. For each roll of a 5+, that unit suffers 1 mortal wound. I used to use these back in the Index days, and they're good. They're very fun to use, and they can cause, especially some high toughness, elite units, you can ruin their day by dropping a couple of big bombs on them. And again, opens up cool possibilities of mounting the little bombs on your Deathcopters and things. Very cool. Commandos. This datasheet gains the following war gear options. The boss knob can be equipped with one of the following instead of one power claw. One big chopper, one chopper. That's nice, so you can keep the points down a bit there. It's very good. And again, it's a bit more fitting, because a big bulky power claw commando might want to be a bit more stealthy and have something a bit lighter. Up to 2 commandos can be equipped with one of the following instead of one slugger. One big shooter, one burner, and one rocket launcher. Very nice. And again, it makes sense that they would have something like that in the unit. They might sneak up and get in the right situation to take out a tank with a rocket launcher or something. It's cool. Options are great. Options are great, even if they're not popular options. I always disagree with taking options away from units and vehicles, because although 90% of the players may not use it, or it may not be competitive or wise, someone might want to do something fun with that. And I'm always quite drawn to those options that not many people pick, because it's nice to be different, and it's nice to have those options. And then last one, mech. This datasheet gains the following war gear options. This model can be equipped with one of the following instead of one custom mega slugger, one slugger, or one weapon from the souped up weapons list. So that's very cool. So you can change his custom mega slugger for other weapons, which is good, because a lot of us have the mechs from the burner / looter boys kit, who comes generally with a custom mega blaster. And so it's great that he's got that option back, because that's what my one's got, because that's what he came with in the box. And then we've got the rules and the points values. So here we are. War Boss in Mega Armor is, these are all excluding war gear, 107 points. The Big Mech, 55 points. So he's the same points as the Big Mech with KFF. Are you ever going to use this Big Mech over that one? Yeah, I would. But I'm nuts. And I would be doing it just for the fun of it and having a cool sort of my own named character on the field, something a bit more personal. But yeah, it does seem insane to always ever pick a Big Mech and not have the KFF. It is kind of an auto include. But the options there, it's just a shame that what we haven't got is a combination of the two. Big Mech, who has all those options but can also take a KFF, and not with the stupid rules from Saga of the Beast. Big Mech on Warbike is 81 points, which I think's a fair points. It bumps up a bit, but he's a lot more survivable, a lot more mobile, and comes with a lot more DACA. So I think that's a very, very good choice to have in any army. Painboy on Warbike, his points jumped up quite a bit from his on foot version, but you are getting that added mobility, and if you need to get him to a certain character to heal him up, being on the bike is very useful. And then look at this, the red gobbo is 30 points, including the war gear, and he's got some cracking weapons and rules and stuff. So yeah, just a shame he wasn't an HQ choice. And then we've got the points for the buggies. The war buggy is a bargain, 33 points. So yeah, that's what I mean, you know, you've got a few points left over, you're just trying to make up the points in your list, sling a war buggy in there. Scorchers and the war tracks are only 4 points more. So yeah, they're very cool. And yeah, I know a lot of people miss them and would rather have those back than the current new buggies. It's good that we can have both for now. Heavy support, the big guns, 8 points. Obviously, you've got to add the points of the guns, but yeah, it's just insane. 8 points. They are insanely cheap. And I remember how many people used to use those in tournament games and things. They probably are a bit overpowered for the points, because I mean they are just ridiculously cheap, and you can just bombard the enemy with so much firepower with those. Yeah, they're again a really cool little option to have to, you know, bump up the points in your list if you need them. Ranged weapon, rack of rockets, 24 points for them, and the big bomb is 6 points, which is a fair price, I would say, for what it does. But yeah, that's the end of it, guys. So there you go. That is my look over of Warhammer Legends. In summary, is it good? Is this going to get a thumbs up, this review? Yeah, it's going to get a thumbs up. It's definitely going to get a thumbs up. Well, one, price is an absolute bargain because it costs 0 teeth. You can download it for free, so that's cool. It's they don't do it in a print copy unless you want to print it off yourself, like so, and have it in colour and on a format, which is easily done. And yeah, it's for anyone out there who is more concerned with creating a cool army and a cool theme and wants to get creative. This is a must-have. I was going to say a must-buy, but you don't have to pay any money. It's a must-have because you can add some more variety to your armies. You can, especially with the characters and stuff, and some of the buggies and the vehicles and things in there. And it's kept those options open of those older classic units and things and stuff that we really miss. And yeah, I don't see any reason at all. No one can tell me any good reason why you wouldn't use these, unless if all you care about is tournaments and things and competitive lists and stuff. Then, well, none of this really applies to you because you're not going to be interested in it anyway. But I don't think that's who this is for. This is just for those of us who still want to use this stuff or still want to create cool things and have options available to us that aren't in the codex. And I mean, in terms of balance at the moment, these are as balanced as anything else from any of the other books, points wise. That is set to change. It'll go one way or the other. As they've said, they're not going to update these. So if we get huge points drops, as has been the case, you know, progressively since the launch of 8th edition, generally speaking, these are going to become very uncompetitive because they're going to stay at the same points. I think, though, we're probably perhaps more likely to see points increases in future chapter approved, because they can't just keep dropping the points of everything across the board, because it will just, yeah, you can't maintain that. I think at some point we'll probably see some more balances with points going up. So then these might become really competitive, and that then may cause some issue in the future if that was to happen. Some people, you know, say, oh, you know, they're too powerful, you can't use them. But yeah, but generally I think if you're using this stuff, you're less concerned about that anyway, and you're more just wanting to create something that's fun and fluffy and characterful. And for that purpose, this delivers. This does deliver. And I don't think it's going anywhere soon. Some people are saying, oh, this is where they go to die. They'll be there for a little while and then they'll be gone. Look, that might be the case. I'm not saying that won't be the case. But I don't see 9th edition being a massive change from 8th. When and if they do 9th edition, it's going to be a refining, a polishing of 8th and a tweaking. And I think you'll still see all our current codexes being used through 9th, as we've seen through previous editions in the past. It's not going to be a complete rewrite like 8th was. So I think this will still go for a long time, I think, and it's a cool resource to have and to use. So yeah, I highly recommend it, and if you haven't downloaded it yet, download it, dust off some of them old minis, get converting, get creating, put something different in your list to surprise your opponent with, and start using some Legends units. Why wouldn't you? Crack on. Show GW that we enjoy this stuff and we want to play with it. For sure, do that. But anyway, guys, share your thoughts and comments down below. Have you been using Legends? Do you intend to use Legends? And if you haven't, why not? And also, does it get you going reading this stuff? Does it get you excited to go, I want to convert my Pain Boy on bike, I want to make him in my army, or I want to get my Big Beck on bike, or I want to get my War Boss in Mega Armor again. It'll give us a useful them old Gazzy models now, won't it? But yeah, anyway, guys, for now, this review's gone way longer than I thought it was going to go. For now, guys, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you on the next one. This is 6+ Stevo, signing out.